Hello and welcome to the FSF PopCast Live Edition. Hello, kids and cadets. Welcome to the FSF PopCast. This is our Wednesday Live at 5. We are today reviewing the Ahsoka series, episode 6. We've had a couple of amazing episodes in the series, and I am very excited to talk about this. Excited that I got my good buddy John here to help us. Producer John is in the house. Woot, woot.
That's me. Right.
That's you. He is the one, the only, the producer John.
Woo! That guy's awesome. Actually, my daughter yells when I get home. Yeah, Dad, that guy's awesome.
Kind of makes my day. She kills me. Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome. All right, so last week I got done watching last week's episode and I was like, man, I don't know if they can top this with what they're doing. And I don't know that they did top it this week with everything that they did this week, but it was pretty darn close. It was like a 1A, 1B situation in my mind as to what I've seen out of this series so far. These last two episodes have just been wonderful.
This absolute chef's kiss, just amazing.
Oh, yeah. So, we went through our popcorn so fast watching. Yeah, I believe that. It was
like 10 minutes.
So, Tim changed his camera angle. It is weird. Well, this is what happens when Tim forgets his HDMI cable at home and can't hook up everything properly. And so he just uses his MacBook because it's sitting here. And
Fair enough.
Same room. So actually the same computer, just I'm using my MacBook's camera instead of my desktop camera because issues and forgetfulness and other things. But that's not the point.
Right. The point is it was an awesome episode.
That's right. Let's talk about the awesomeness of the episode, not the weirdness of Tim's camera angle. So, there's so much to talk about with this episode. There's possibilities. And before we get into anything really serious, I just want to make note.
Ooh. Tim, your audio is all kinds of weird, too.
That just got trouble.
Yeah.
My audio is weird?
Yeah. What's that?
Hold on.
And now you're freezing up.
All right, how
about what? Okay, you appear to be broken. Anyway. Let's see if I can bring up your notes real quick while you're frozen and looking at me lovingly because you know how awesome I am. So, we're going to talk tonight about the Night Sisters, right?
All right, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Tim.
Okay. So this is what happens. And Kathleen, nobody cares. You can see my nose hairs. Shush. Glitchy Tim. Yeah, my computer was fighting for supremacy between the Wi-Fi and the data cable. And run the show, John. He runs the show every week. That's not really the point.
I was going to start.
That's right. So, hey, before we get into anything serious of note, I just want to mention how flipping adorable I don't know how to pronounce their name is, but the Nodi, the turtle rock-looking people are in this episode.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, we probably should have thrown this up there, but by the way, we're talking about spoilers. There's lots of spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, did the thing. But yeah. So, yeah. Jason's watching the show on mute, but glad you have someone to talk to about Ahsoka since we all let you down. Yes, you know what? So this past weekend, we were at the Monroe Pop Fest, which is now called the Monroe Comic-Con. And a couple different panels, a couple different times, I tried to get people to talk about Ahsoka episode 5. And they're all like, we haven't watched it yet. And I am deathly against giving away spoilers. And so, yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk about it.
But you were there Friday and Saturday. That was the show comes out Tuesday. What were they doing for 3 days? Like packing and getting ready for a con? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had a life or something. Jeez. But yeah, the Nodi. Yeah, they're little humanoid hermit crabs with rocks on their backs.
Mhm.
Jason is a loser.
Jason is not a loser. It's
He
not
is
his
not a
fault he lives in
loser.
Ohio.
We had a wonderful time with Jason and Max and Justin as well. All three of the geeks were there at one time. It was
Max was
really
there?
Max was there. Notebook and pen guy in the house. All right, so hey, let's get down to business here. So yeah, the Noti, absolutely wonderful, adorable little creatures, fun, absolutely fun. But yeah, so I thought I started off this episode not thinking that we were going to see Jason, if you were listening to this on audio, then you would hear us that we defended your honor.
Yes.
I started off this episode thinking that we were not going to see a couple things this week, and I was worried that we weren't going to see them until episode 8, and I'm so very glad to have been wrong.
Yes. Like I said in our I think it was on our Discord. I was fully expecting the last minute to be when we finally got to Thrawn. Last minute of the last episode. And I'm so glad I was wrong.
So yeah, I was very glad about that. Well, as well, we have a hate/love fest going on in the comments there. But yeah, so I expected to not see Thrawn or Ezra till episode 8 and in the waning moments. So to be able to get them both in episode 6, both Ezra and Thrawn, I don't know about you, but as soon as I saw the Chimera coming up over top of the rock cliff, there was me doing the.
Oh yeah.
There was some loud fanboying going on at my house. Fortunately, I was the only one home at that moment, and I only scared the dogs. So
you abandoned your wife and daughter to rush home for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And this is why we're friends.
It was like, and would you look at the time? I have an Ahsoka to catch. So, but yeah, so I was very excited as soon as I saw that ship come up over the edge. As soon as I saw the Chimera, I knew that we were getting Thrawn in that episode. I was worried when the Night Sisters and by the way, how cool were the Night Sisters?
Oh my goodness, so creepy, so wonderful,
so perfectly creepy, so perfectly animated series accurate.
Yes.
So when we first got Morgan Elsbeth and she was a descendant of the Night Sisters, I thought, well, if this is what the Night Sisters look like now, maybe they've evolved, maybe they're changing their look,
like Klingons.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, there's that. So I thought, well, maybe they've evolved, they're changed their look. They're going to look more like Morgan Elsbeth. And then we get to this planet of Peridia, which is the planet that is housing the Night Sisters. It's housing Thrawn. It's housing Ezra as well. And there's the classic look of the Night Sisters and the sound. The sound was so cool and creepy and just and I had to laugh because I know that Dave Filoni is a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the Night Sisters talk just a little bit, the little tiniest bit, like Gollum was perfect.
Yeah. They also reminded me of
it reeks of Jedi. It goes into the station. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. They also reminded me of Macbeth with the three witches in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a recurring theme in a lot of folklore. The three.
Yeah. No, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that. That's definitely the Night Sisters. They are things of nightmares. Yeah, they are just creepy enough where you will see them later. Probably when you don't want to, but you will see them later. But yeah, I really appreciated them. And I kind of feel like I'm flying through some of this stuff, but there's just literally so much to talk about. I don't know where to go because I want to talk about it all, but I can't talk about it all at once.
So from the Night Sisters, then we go to the new Night Troopers, who were they were creepy as all get out.
You talking about the troopers that are on Thrawn's ship?
Yeah, because I watch it with closed captioning on because I have an almost 5-year-old.
Right. I had it on. I must have missed that part where they called them the Night Troopers.
Night Troopers, yeah, and they're chanting Thrawn.
Yes, I did catch that. I caught the chant.
Right.
And yeah, so looking at them, now here's my question: Are they zombies?
That seems to be the prevailing opinion on the internet right now.
The interwebs is ablaze with that. A lot of people think that they are in fact zombies, and I tend to agree with that because their armor's all busted up and janky looking, mismatched in some cases.
Oh yeah,
like one dude had a white chest piece, but a burgundy arm, a gray helmet,
yeah.
and then there's creepy old Captain Enoch. What the crap?
What is that thing?
Yeah, who is that? What was that? What's up with the gold face mask thing, the John Cena "you can't see me" mask? You're welcome.
Oh man.
You can't see me. But yeah, as soon as he turned around, I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Like, you're special.
Enoch's face is sort of droidish. I'm not going to disagree with that. That's it's both very interesting and off-putting at the same time. And I actually think that's kind of cool. I'm sure that's by design, what they intended it to be, and how they intended it to go and do and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But whew,
yeah.
Kathleen says, I'm guessing his form took a blast to the face and got his face replaced.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could have happened in the because if these are the same troops that were in the Battle of Lothal, I'm sure there was plenty of droids laying around, and I'm pretty sure there was also plenty of faces laying around after the conclusion of that battle.
But their numbers are dwindling, so maybe that's why the Night Sisters would be putting them back together to keep a fighting force.
Yeah, I caught that line too, which it made me wonder. Okay, so are they dying because of lack of rations? Like if they were healthy troopers, were there health issues, lack of rations, all these different things that were not available any longer on the Chimera? Or is it that Thrawn just got kind of tired of some people and he, did the Vader choke without having the Vader force choke ability? Just like I'm done with you guys. So
yes.
Trek Time says Gold Crack Troopers were amazing. Yes, they are, and it's by the way, if you guys are Star Trek fans and you want to find some really cool Trek information and by a really cool cast, go check out Trek Time. These guys are really cool. I enjoy checking out their stuff as well. So, but yeah, I'm really kind of curious to find out more about these troops. How they can. And I don't expect all these things to get answered because we only have a couple episodes left. We have 2 episodes left, and I'm pretty sure in these last 2 episodes, we're going to be finding out more about how they're getting off of Peridia, B, how I'm expecting some level of battle between Ahsoka and Balin Skull and Thrawn and all these different things. I'm expecting episode 8 to be a lot of lightsabers and bullets or laser bolts flying.
Yeah. Speaking of Peridia, the ring around the planet
No problem, guys.
being the Purgle graveyard. Right?
Yeah.
So they go there to die. And Ahsoka's in the biggest one, which means it's probably the oldest one and the one closest to death. So how are they going to get home unless they steal the Eye of Sion?
Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. They don't know they're going to the graveyard. They just know they're getting a free ride. These are the salmon swimming to their spawning ground and not coming back.
So wouldn't it be interesting because, Disney likes to do things that are, in sync with one another and, and things that mirror one thing to another. Yeah. So at the end of Rebels, how did Ezra and Thrawn get to Peridia? They rode together.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if they rode back to their regular galaxy together?
Getting them to do that is going to be the tricky part.
I'm not saying, well, they didn't go there willingly the first time together. So what would make it be willingly this time?
Fair enough.
Let's see. Trek Time says, I heard a rumor that Enoch was Wes Chatham, the actor from The Expanse. That is correct. Yes, that is Wes Chatham.
Oh, really?
So I'm kind of curious to see how well he does with that die well. Yeah, that was literally on the screen as I was, trying to race in for tonight. I was, by the way, guys, for those of you who are just joining us, I almost missed my own live show tonight because I was watching episode 6 again, and just kind of sitting there, just like, it's Ahsoka, and look how much fun this is. Yeah, so that was me tonight. Yeah, he's that guy, absolutely. So, yeah, a lot to find out with the soldiers and Enoch and everything else. I only have okay. So I thought Ezra, all the pictures and things that I had seen of Ezra leading up to this point of the the fan art, the AI concepts of what he could look like in this series, played by Iman Eshandi. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, so my apologies to Iman. But all the AI pictures and all the possible fan art concepts of what he could look like, not even close. I thought he looks exactly like what, in my mind, what Ezra Bridger should have looked like 10 years later.
Yes. He is a brilliant grown-up space Aladdin, to borrow from Growing Up Skywalker.
Prince Ali. Anyway, okay.
So then the Bendu's the genie, and
Prince Ali, where is he? Anyway, okay. We're getting off target here. Not that we ever would do that on this show, ever. But I just thought that he is so much better looking in this role than what I gave him credit for coming up to this.
Yeah.
I mean, just, the facial structure, the hair, everything is like, I look at him and I just went, yeah, that is a very, very believable Ezra Bridger at approximately 25, 26 years of age.
Yeah.
Because I think the last time we see him in Rebels, he's only 15, 16.
He's 15 at the start of season 1, yes.
Okay, so
19, 20. So he's close to 30, we'll say.
Yeah, if we're looking at each season as a full year.
Yeah.
We don't know the time. We don't know the time frame, but yeah. And yes, he did sound arrogant as Ezra because that's who Ezra is.
Yep.
Yeah, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And of course, Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn, which was the fan favorite, one of the fan favorites. It was either him or Butternut Crinkle Fries. And I'm actually really glad that it wasn't Butternut Crinkle Fries. So
yeah, the voice consistency was brilliant. His presence with the troops, with the Night Sisters, was amazing.
I would sit there. I'm sorry, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No. I was interrupting you. I was sitting there honestly, and just as much as believable as he was for obviously as on camera, Thrawn, I was also at times closing my eyes because of how brilliant the sound was, just to hear Thrawn's voice, and it would have it be the same as what I heard in Rebels.
Yeah,
that having that consistency is, to me, is just it put it over the top. My only complaint about Thrawn, and this is it's so minuscule. I mean, my fingers are almost touching. Did they not have somebody who could, fix him a better hairpiece?
Yeah, well, he's been out of town for a while. I mean, you go 10 years without a decent hairstylist, and I mean,
yeah, I get that, but
just in 2020, we saw some people with some really sketchy bad haircuts. It's just, yeah.
Look, I shaved my head one time. Get over it, John.
Just once? Okay.
Just once. I only did it once because my wife wouldn't let me do it a second time.
So it's like me growing a mustache. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, her exact words were, "I bet you that looks really cute on somebody else." So,
yeah, it sounds familiar.
One last topic I want to touch on for last night's episode, and if there's anything else you want to touch on, please feel free. The one last thing I wanted to touch on is it appears to me, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you see this differently, I see tension growing between Baylan and Shin.
Baylan and Shin? Yes.
Yes.
Because it's that generational, well, this is the way we're going to do things. Well, your way is stupid, old man.
Yeah, she seems very dissatisfied, frustrated with what he's doing, where he's going, why he's doing it. At least in my mind, it looks to me like there's definite separation, especially when he was explaining the type of Jedi that Ezra is. Nobody cares.
Yeah, the Boken Jedi,
the Boken Jedi, which is a cool.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother topic, but yeah, that's a really cool topic as well.
Yeah. So they weren't trained properly. They were trained in the
wild.
Yeah, in the wild, and so that they're not as refined as a Jedi should be.
Right. But. So yeah. I was watching that last night, and I kind of caught it a little bit. And I watched it again this morning, and I was watching it again this afternoon. And each time I watched it, especially the scene where I saw it in a couple different spots. One where they're all kind of standing out on the balcony of the, and watching Sabine ride away.
Yeah.
And some of the comments and questions and the discussion there. And then out in the field where they're actually, Baylan and Shin are going after Sabine. And they're actually having a discussion about, the type of Jedi, and the topic of Boken Jedi is brought up. And, just the look that she gives him when he says to her, no, you are not that type of Jedi. I trained you to be something different. And just the look she gave him was just, I don't know, to me, it just reeked of, it's the same look my daughter gives me when she's annoyed with something I say. So,
I could see that.
And the age difference.
I think I've seen her make that face at you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. Most people have. So, but yeah, I just see that line developing, and it makes me wonder, are we going to see a split where one sticks with Thrawn and one goes with Ezra and Sabine and Ahsoka?
But then Thrawn's also just using Baylan, and Baylan's just using Morgan and Thrawn. So eventually they're going to come into conflict as well.
Right. There's got to be some point where all these parties just come into conflict. It has to happen.
Because that's what bad guys do, is they use each other until it's no longer convenient, that they turn on each other, and that's why the good guys win.
Right. So yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see how that all plays out and all that. But
yeah.
Okay, so maybe I wasn't the only one who kind of caught up on that and saw that coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then what is Baylan sensing, this rising power that he's afraid of, and why is Thrawn so desperate to get away from the planet? I mean, obviously he wants to go home.
Okay, so here we have this whole new galaxy. We're on a different planet.
Yep.
This and I'm actually writing about this in an article about how the simple fact is, with Peridia in a different galaxy, we have the opening now for different species, different villains. This opens the door for things that were in the expanded universe that are not part of canon, that are part of Legends, to come into canon. So I don't think it's going to happen in this series, but I think it could be hinted at that we could get. I mean, we could get the Yuzan Vong out of this.
Maybe
it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I realize that I'm kind of grasping at a tall straw up there,
right?
But the simple fact is that he's afraid of something,
right?
And who were some of the scariest villains in Legends? Yuzan Vong,
right?
And if a Jedi / even a Dark Jedi or a Sith is going to be afraid of something, I'm pretty sure it's going to be these bad guys who, everybody was afraid of.
Unless it's something like the Bendu.
Right, the Wills or the Bendu, or something along those lines, where there's, maybe he's just misreading the source of the power and what it can and can't do and all these different things. That's entirely a possibility as well.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finding out, though.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. So yeah, there's a lot to come up in the next, the next 2 episodes. And it sucks for me to think that there's only 2 more episodes, because this is just this level of Star Wars is so refreshing
Yes.
And it is so good. And all I want is more of it.
Right.
And I'm kind of sad, kind of disappointed to know that I only get 2 more weeks.
Right. Especially since who knows when we'll get more anything.
Right, because of the strike.
Right.
And we firmly side with the actors and writers, and we want them to get paid for what their value and their worth. We just need these freaking studios to pay up, treat their people right.
Yes.
Don't deny me of my Star Wars. Anyway.
Yeah. But somewhere in those 2 episodes, Ezra's going to find out how Sabine got there. What that deal was. I don't think that's going to go over terribly well.
No, because it won't, but it's also kind of classic Rebels. I gave myself over to the bad guys so that I could get caught, so that I could find the person that I needed to find. Oh, okay, now we're in over our heads. Sure, we'll find our way out.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. That's a Tuesday on Rebels. Exactly. I think that he'll be upset for the first couple of moments, but if he thinks back to what happened 10 years ago, he'll be like, oh yeah,
that works.
Oh, I kind of did the same thing when I came here with Thrawn. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's her get out of jail free card. Well, what did you do with Thrawn? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway. All right. Any other hot topics for you? Anything else you want to highlight from this week's episode?
No. Nope. I think I'm pretty good. Like Trek Time was saying here, we're sad there's only 2 more. But
sad face.
I'm expecting they're going to be good. Hopefully we don't do a secret invasion on this.
So rumor is that episode 8 has the longest runtime of all the episodes.
2.5 hours. I'm good.
So, yeah, I don't know that it's 2.5 hours, but I mean, I'd be okay with that, but I don't think that's what we're getting. I read something along the lines of, think 15. I've heard 59 minutes runtime.
Nice.
So yeah, if that's the case, I think episode 8 is going to be, like I said, lots of lightsabers and laser bolts, because everything's got to go from here to set up moving towards the Mandoverse style movie where they fight the Thrawn.
Yeah.
So, which I also think it all depends on if they're out of Peridea or if they're still in Peridea. But if they're out of Peridea, I mean, we could even see, a Bo-Katan Mando sighting if they're back from that other universe. But that's a very, very large if at that point. So,
yeah, I'm curious if we're going to pick up any of Hera's plot before this show ends, if we're just going to stay on Peridea. But I don't.
I think Hera's more of a side character in this series.
Yeah, the main plot seems to be in the other galaxy now. So
yeah,
maybe not.
And one last thing to complain. One last complaint.
Yes.
Where's my boy Zeb?
He's
not in these episodes.
He's off flying a Y-wing because that's the only cockpit that he could fit into. He couldn't fit in the X-wing, so that's why he didn't go with Hera this time. All they could get were X-wings.
Yeah, okay. That's my only complaint. I want to see Zeb on screen more than I got to see him in Mando. But
you know what we need? We need a Chopper spin-off series. Just all Chopper.
All Chopper. All carpet bombing runs all the time.
If they can do it for Groot in the MCU, they can do it for Chopper.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right, guys. So if you don't know by now, Ahsoka comes out every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the channel of the Mouse, Disney Plus. You can find it there. And so hey, just as a reminder, this past Friday, we released our episode with Jessica Ray from Power Rangers Wild Force. She was Alyssa the White Tiger on that. And we met Jessica in person at the Monroe Pop Fest in Monroe, Michigan this past weekend. Monroe Pop Fest has also changed their name. They are now they went back to their original name, which was the Monroe Comic Con. Very excited about that. And they already have their dates picked out for next year. So go to their website, do a Google search for Monroe Comic-Con. I want to say it's September 13th and 14th because I believe it's Friday the 13th. So they're going to have some scary stuff there. If they had the Michael Myers from Halloween there this year and a couple other people, so if they can have them, I'm pretty sure that they'll get somebody cool for next year as well. But coming up this Friday, we have Pat Fraley, who, if you don't recognize him by image or by name, Pat Fraley is an amazing voice actor, iconic even, and some of the work that he's done in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as both Krang and Casey Jones. And so the quote there on the episode title, "Morons, I'm surrounded by morons," is a direct quote from Krang in the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes. But it's easier to tell you what Pat Fraley hasn't been in than what he has been in. Go check out his IMDb page, and you can get that episode right now on our Patreon channel for as little as $3 a month to have early access to video and audio both. But yeah, that's Pat Fraley. So remember to go check that out. And if you haven't already, please click like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel. That helps us out, helps us to continue to grow and get amazing guests for you each and every Friday. But until then, enjoy the Ahsoka, and we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. We'll be here Wednesday night again, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to be here Monday, but
we'll be here Monday. We have if you're watching our live shows on Monday night, we have a new thing on Mondays. So you might want to be part of that. Just to say, just a thought, just saying. Okay, bye. On behalf of the rest of the hosts of the FSF PopCast, we want to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on a future episode, please contact us by means of Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FSF PopCast, or go to www.fsfpopcast.com and click on the contact link. Thanks again, and hope you enjoyed the episode.